my name's Robin Lambert, I'm 19 years old and living with cerebral palsy, but you guys know me as the T-Rex and you're watching My T-Rex Life. Okay guys, recently I wrote a blog post on how my disability has influenced the way in which my personal style has developed, and I felt like turning it into a vlog because I much more prefer talking to the camera and having that direct conversation with y'all. So anyway, here goes. For me, style and developing my own unique sense of style has always been really important to me. It's not been so much that, I've been focused on like being fashionable or being on trend and seeing what everyone else was wearing. For me, it was sort of more about like the buzz of creating a look and like theatrics of getting dressed up. And like from a very early age, my family encouraged me to pick my own outfits. And that obviously led like to some pretty questionable choices on my part. Have some regrets there. But I also feel like for me, it was like my first sort of creative outlet. Through what I chose to wear every day, I was able to, show what was going on in my head and show people different parts of my personality. I almost got to like choose who I wanted to be every day through what I was wearing. And it was through this experience as a kid, like choosing my different outfits and stuff, that I began to realize that we can't control how people perceive us, and especially as like a disabled person, there's a lot of misconceptions around disability, and I knew people perceived me in a certain way which wasn't exactly true to who I was. So I knew I couldn't control that, but I knew I could influence it through what I was wearing. Now, for me, that was like, if I was dressed like I didn't want to fit in with the crowd, and I was having fun like with what I was wearing and creating my own like personal flair, then I knew people were going to be forced to see more of me than just my wheelchair, and that was going to show them that, my disability doesn't take away from my individuality, and it also can be a positive force in my life. And it was almost like you could see people looking at me and like the misconceptions that they had were just like floating away, and then they were more just focused on me and who I was. Now for me, I can tell this was the case because a lot more people come up and compliment me on my style when I'm in my wheelchair, and my disability is more visible than when I'm walking about. And I think this is because there are so many misconceptions still out there in society surrounding disability, that the idea that people can be stylish and have a disability is still pretty new to some people, and the idea that disability can actually influence the way in which our personal style develops is almost a completely abstract idea. Now, for me, disability is a big part of my identity. It's shaped the person that I am today, and the experiences that I've had because of my disability have played a huge part in how I see the world. So my disability is never something that I've been ashamed of or wanted to hide. In fact, it's something that I'm very, very comfortable in highlighting through what I wear. So in my pictures on social media and stuff, my mobility devices will be prominently in the picture. And in my everyday life, I kind of incorporate my style, by matching my mobility devices to, my wheelchair, or just, presenting my body in a unique way that encompasses my disability. So for me, that's like wearing like skinny jeans that like you can see how small my legs are with like a big oversized top, and it just, for me, that's just like who I am. That just feels right to me. And like to me and a lot of other people, I think it just makes sense that if I'm gonna stand out regardless because, I have a disability which is not seen as the norm, I might as well have fun with it and do it in my own way and sort of have control over that. And like I said again, I think it just makes people see more than just the wheelchair. It makes people see me and who I am. And I think it's also given me a lot more confidence. Like, if I'm putting everything that I am into what I'm wearing, and I'm like putting myself out there in that way, then there's nothing else to hide. And like people have either just got to accept it and like get to know me, or, they don't, and it's not worth knowing them, So it's given me more confidence. I feel like when I'm dressed like the way that I want to dress, and like, I feel powerful. I feel like, yeah, this is me, this is who I am. I feel comfortable. And also, it's a great way for me to like get into a conversation with people. I find like fashion is a weapon to tackle the misconception that disability is inheritably negative, and that the disabled body is something that should be, you shouldn't be proud of. And, to show it off as something interesting and cool. And like, if I can get people that come up to me and compliment me on my style, it's a great transition into, talking about issues that affect me as a disabled person, and trying to change that perception that disability is negative. Because, sure, like I've said before, there are a lot of negative aspects that come along with disability, but for me, there's just been as many positives, and it's really made me who I am today. And I think, I wouldn't be the same person that I am today without my disability. And I'm like totally not alone in this. Like, there's so many cool people that I follow on Instagram and YouTube and that have really just embraced their disability through their personal style. And I think it's interesting how this hasn't quite transferred over to the general public and maybe even the fashion industry yet. We've had a few disabled models that are really like working very hard and like are achieving amazing things, but I still think we've got a long way to go before, we just sort of see disability as just being part of who we are, and like not something that needs to be changed or altered to fit in with society. Yeah, so anyway guys, that's pretty much it, I'd say. But let me know what you think. Let me know if your style has been influenced by your disability, or if what you wear is influenced the way you're seen by people. And I'll probably make another video in a sort of follow-up to this, and sort of how my disability directly impacts what I'm wearing in terms of like practicality and being comfortable and being able to get around with a disability, and how the adaptive fashion industry is something that I'm really interested in, and there are some great startups and little companies appearing that I'm super interested in. So that'll probably be my next video. But anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you've liked this video, remember to like and subscribe. But most importantly guys, stay shiny, because I love you.